Hello, everyone. We are live. Today is Thursday. As you know, it's interview day. And of course, if you are joining us live, would you, in the comment below, hashtag live, or if it's the replay that you're watching, hashtag replay. And do tell me where you're coming from because I always love to know where people are coming from. As you know, I am in Mexico. I'm coming in from Mexico, and my guest today is from the UK. One other thing that I'd like to say to you, above this video or maybe below this video, there's a strip that says StreamYard. Would you kindly click on that? And when you click on that, it gives StreamYard permission to use your name. And that way you can interact with us. If you want to ask us a question, if you want to make a comment, or maybe you just want to react. If you're going to react, oh, send us those hearts because we love those hearts and it helps the algorithms, as you know. Okay, so as you know, I usually proceed with what I have in common with my guests. And today it's all about stories. And you know that I love to hear inspiring stories because that's what my interviews are all about. Well, my guest loves to teach inspiring stories. We also have a mentor that is, we have in common is Tony Robbins, of course. Who doesn't have Tony Robbins as a mentor? But my guest ended up speaking on his stage. How great is that? Oh my God. And hopefully we'll be able to talk about that. And the other thing I want to say about my guest is that she is a storytelling coach. She's an actress. She's a TV news anchor. She was born in Sweden, grew up in Argentina. Her mom was a singer. Can you imagine that? And her dad, an architect. And this family, they hosted international music festivals for decades. So, without any further ado, I want you to meet my wonderful guest. And here is Natalia Nutting. How are you, Natalia, today?
Hello, Lucy. I'm great. Thank you. Hello, everyone there. I hope that you engage with us and let's talk about storytelling.
Absolutely. Tell me, you're coming in from the UK, but the UK is huge. Where
I
in the
know.
UK?
Well, it's
Where in
not
the
that
UK?
big. I used to live in Argentina, which is like 29 times bigger than
Right,
this.
right.
So I'm coming in from the Isle of Wight, which is a tiny little island
Ooh,
on the south coast of the UK. So you have to take a hovercraft to
oh,
get
wow.
here or a ferry. So basically, you're flying just for 10 minutes, on a hover. You're hovering and
How
you're flying
exciting.
into the island.
How
Oh,
exciting.
Therese, hello.
Therese Parkin is with us today. She's a lovely person. Oh, Therese, you're going to love this. Facebook user, click StreamYard and give StreamYard permission to use your name. Hey, Barbara. Barbara, how are you, Barb Loudman? Oh, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Listen, okay, this wonderful isle. How did you ever end up there?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I never thought that I was going to live here, but 3 years ago, it's 2019, and I'm in Argentina, and I made one of the most heart-wrenching decisions in my life. I decided to get a divorce.
Okay.
When I made that decision, I was not proud of that because I believe in the sacredness of marriage.
Mhm.
But I was unfortunately in an abusive relationship, and I'm not going to go into the details, but I
Right.
really had to get out of the country for my safety. And because I decided to get a divorce, I lost everything. I lost my whole life savings.
Uh-huh.
He decided to keep that. If it was good for him, okay, you keep it. My
Right.
whole life savings, the house, the car, everything. So I had nothing. I just had two bags. Of course, my laptop and the books of my faith. I practice Falun Dafa. So that's something that I kept. And I came here to the UK. Here, there was my mum living on the Isle of Wight. I came
Wow.
here is December 2019, and I land on my brother's um, living room. I was just, and my brother has 3 kids. And so it was beautiful because I was with my nephews, all the warmth, all the love that I needed after 7.5 years of
Absolutely.
really, really tough times. And everything was wonderful. But soon I realized I need to do something with my life.
Right.
And as soon as I realized that, guess what?
Got on that plane and
I was already here in the UK. Guess
oh,
what?
I see. Well, then we're going to talk. We're certainly going to talk about your journey and your expertise in storytelling. So, could you share a little bit about your background? What was it like to grow up in Argentina? And from the time you grew up in Argentina to becoming a renowned storytelling coach and founder of Unstoppable Storytellers. Can you
Well,
share us
that that was
that
that was
background?
exactly, yeah. So I'll tie it in with what I was sharing right now.
Mhm,
uh, it That was exactly what happened at that moment.
mhm.
The moment when I said, "What am I going to do with my life?" The pandemic hit.
Uh,
And I was there camping at my brother's house with nothing, no money, no place to work, nothing. And my brother says to me, "Why don't you open an online business?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I work with real people. I'm an actress. I'm a storyteller. I'm a storytelling teacher. I work with real, I touch people, I smell them. Like, don't come to me with that thing." Uh, Therese, can you relate to this? I
oh,
can
she
see.
can relate to this. Yes, for sure. I
And,
know, Therese.
and my brother was the one that introduced me to Tony Robbins and
Okay.
Dean Graziosi. I had no idea who these guys were. And so I uh, um, he said, "Why don't you teach storytelling, Natalia?" He said, "You've got all of these experience as a TV news anchor." Yes, I was a TV news anchor for Uncensored News. I
Right.
worked for New Tang Dynasty Television. I worked for the Epoch Times. I worked for Beauties of Life, different independent news agencies that
Mhm.
bring out truth. And okay, so I have all the camera presentation. Natalia, you know, oh, Vicky, hello, my darling. Oh, Natalia, you're a great storyteller and a storytelling teacher. When someone puts you on the spot, suddenly you doubt everything that you
Right.
know, and it's like, no, I know nothing. I can't do anything. It's like, come on, do something.
Yeah.
But it is those moments that where you don't have nothing, that there's some strength that's coming there. I don't know, from God, from the divine, from earth. But at that moment, my brother introduced this course, and I look at the screen to buy the course, and it was $2,000.
Oh, this must have been the KBB.
It was the KBB.
It was the
No,
KBB.
I
Yeah.
I just came from
Yeah.
Argentina. It's
Yeah.
like a third world country.
I
We
know.
don't pay that money. That's a lot of money for
It was
education.
a lot of money. That's why they changed. It became a Project Next, and it was half
Right,
the price. Yeah.
exactly. And plus, I just had lost everything,
Right.
Lucy.
I
I'd
know.
lost everything. Like, what? 2K? And I was torn. I was torn because there was, it just sounded so amazing. And it seemed like the only alternative I had at
Yeah.
that time when you feel overwhelmed. And so I checked my bank account. Oh my gosh, how much I had.
I don't know. Probably not enough to pay for KBB.
Oh,
$2.
Therese, Therese, yeah, we see your comments, Therese. Um, I had 2K, $2,000, two
$2,000.
thousand dollars, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. That's the totality of
Mhm.
all of the money, of all of my worldly possessions. That's everything I have. I lost everything, and then I started getting on my own stories. You know, the stories you tell yourself. I can't do this, and it's like I lost everything, and then I'm like, yeah, I lost everything, but I have nothing to lose.
Right.
Boom.
Yes. That's very nice. I lost everything, but I have nothing to lose. Wow.
I bought the program, Lucy,
Yeah.
and I did it as if my life depended on it. And in 3 weeks, I graduated. I created my online business, and now I'm teaching storytelling to speakers, to coaches, to experts, so that they can share their message with the world, so they can tell captivating stories, so that they don't sound boring. And it has been an incredible ride of 3 years that has completely changed my life. And it was all through the power of navigating my own personal story and finding the victory in it instead of the victim mode. Because at that moment, when I made that decision, I was still, like, oh, okay, I got out of this narcissistic relationship. I'm coming out of my shell. Okay, there is a win, but still there was some victimhood. I still needed to mature in my own personal story and make this leap. When you've lost everything and you understand that there's nothing to lose, to really mature in my own personal hero's journey, my
Right.
story, so that then I could bring everyone else up and help them with their own personal stories and become great speakers. And with
Wow.
this, uplift the world, make the world a better place.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for telling us all that. I think we're having some technical issues because this is supposed to be streaming to my Facebook group and it's not. So I will be, unfortunately, what I'll do for the Facebook group is I'll put the link in after we finish with the interview so that you can see the replay. And because, the show must go on. But,
And whoever is watching is meant to be, right? Wherever
absolutely.
you're publishing this.
Absolutely, that's for sure. You've mentioned that you're teaching storytelling, but you've also mentioned that you were a timid introvert. Could you talk
Oh my
or
gosh.
walk us through the turning point that led you to conquer, your insecurities and where you got to develop this confidence to teach storytelling? I mean, that's huge. Can you talk a
It
little bit about that?
It is huge. And Vicky says, yes, we are here with you, lovely ladies. Oh, we love you,
I'm
Vicky.
watching in Wow. Oh, somebody says
Wonderful.
I'm watching in Wow. So I guess it's working. I don't know
It's
what.
working.
I'm.
So when it comes to being introvert, right now you see me like, wow, with this explosion of energy. Well, it's because I'm talking with Lucy, right? That's why. And I'm talking with all of you,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. We are alike, and so
Yeah.
we can come out of our shell and we feel comfortable. But I'm still an introvert. That's part of the nature, and it's beautiful. I learned to love my introversion, and I've seen through the people that I coached all of these decades that introverts end up being the best speakers, the best storytellers, because
Interesting.
we've spent so many years observing silently, observing, listening. We become the best storytellers. We observe body language, we
You do.
listen to intonation, and then that then is translated into our speaking abilities, and we are able to connect and resonate with people at another level. It took me um, most of my life to be able to also be I don't know, very fluent with my words, because I couldn't speak uh,
Yeah.
before. So I was the real introvert that struggled to speak. I have no idea really about what was that learning challenge that I had, because 40 years ago, the there weren't that many labels. Like now we
Right.
call it dyslexia, we
Right.
call it ADHD.
We
We
have a
call
label for everything. Yes.
there's a label for everything,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, like but back then we didn't know, and so I had no idea. But I struggled to read, and I also sometimes struggled to speak, because when I put out the words, all the letters would like jumble, and I would say something silly, so I decided not to speak. And and I grew up in a family uh, of talents. My
Well,
mom
yes,
is
your mother was a singer and your dad, yeah.
my mom is a jazz singer. My dad is a prominent architect. We developed for 20 years international jazz festivals at home. My house was open for talents, was surrounded by talents. But I thought that I didn't have a talent.
Mm.
I couldn't speak, therefore I thought I was silly. I struggled to understand music. I went to music schools, but I couldn't, I just went there to eat the cookies. The
Well,
teacher
that's a very good reason.
but there was a turning point. There was a turning point that really took me in this journey of this passion about teaching
Hmm.
and learning, because I
Hmm.
struggled to learn how can we teach better, how can we learn better. And
Right.
there was this instance when I was 8 years old, and I was in this classroom, and I was on the second desk next to the wall. I was there, I was next to the wall, the teacher was there,
Right.
and I raised my hand because I didn't understand what, all the scribbles there on the
Right.
whiteboard, it was a blackboard then.
Right.
And she looked at me. I've already explained this.
Oh,
How come you don't get it?
oh, oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
All my life.
Yeah. You
All
never
my life
forgot
in my
those
head.
words, huh? Never
Those
forget
words,
those
I don't
words.
get it. I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
why did I speak again? How stupid. Oh, I'm not going to speak. And that really stayed in me. But at the same time, at that moment, I looked at her with this fire coming from my core,
From your belly.
from my belly. And I didn't say it with words because I didn't dare. I didn't have the guts back
Right.
then. But I said it in my mind's words. One day I'll show you there's another way to teach.
Oh, oof.
And it's like it's I don't know if it was a curse or it was a spell,
It was a
but
blessing for
it was a
you.
blessing. It took me on a lifelong journey
Right.
to discover what is that other way to teach. I didn't want to become a teacher, but I went across drama. I went across dance. I went across singing, all of the arts. Arts used to be the core of the curriculum in the past, and storytelling.
Wow.
Storytelling has been the method of education since the beginning of time.
And look at the Bible. I mean, I know you're not Christian. I don't know if you are Christian. I don't know if what you practice is has anything to do with Christianity, but the Bible is all stories. You know.
Bible is all stories.
Mhm.
Our greatest teachers, Jesus
Exactly.
taught with stories. Buddha Sakyamuni taught with stories. Vicky says, "Yes, you have found your home." And and 20 years later, I'm in a similar classroom with 8 years old, and I'm sitting on the second desk next to a wall, and in front of me is my student. He was just like me, shy, isolated, no friends, couldn't speak. And he was there. He had the whole classroom captivated. He was telling a story.
Wow.
He was telling a story. And there I knew what is the other way to teach.
Right.
I started every lesson with a story, but not reading a story, embodying the story,
Hmm.
using oral storytelling is the beginning of the tradition where you use all of your body, you embody it. You are very vulnerable and you feel naked when you're telling an oral story. You sometimes get lost for words, and then you have to like, where am I? And the show must go on, as you said. And so you are vulnerable, and your students, and this is not only for children, it's for all of us from 0 to 200 years of age.
Oh my God.
Storytelling works. It gets into our soul, into our imagination, and then you get people doing the things that they thought were impossible for
Right.
them, like that kid standing in front of the classroom having everyone captivated. And from then on, he was unstoppable.
Right.
He created incredible things in all of the school that still is still going on, talent shows, because he felt that unstoppable feeling that he could stand up and tell a story. And so learning stories, short stories, gave me confidence to speak. When I discovered that the way I learned was through stories, amazing, says Therese. Oh, I love you. When I discovered that, oh my gosh, now I get it. When I hear a story, I get it. It's like I understand things without anyone needing to teach me. I start visualizing. Don't you start feeling all the feelings? You feel it in the body. Teresa is remembering being in a breakout room with you, Natalia. I'm so proud of you. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Yeah. Oh, and Magda says,
Magda, oh, how sweet. Thank you, Magda, for being here. I
yeah,
mean, I'm so, because, she was one of your students. Oh my
yeah.
God, I'm
You
so
gave me
proud.
my voice. I became unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yay.
And it's not that difficult. Is a time machine. I remember, Therese, the time machine. It's when you can encapsulate some of your experiences in life.
Right.
So there's different things. There's stories from heroes or fables, stories from other people, and then is your own personal
Yeah.
life stories. Like those are the hard ones to tell. But when you can tell a couple of your own personal life stories, it's
Hmm.
just a scene, make it very short, and it's either fun or touching or inspiring, and it's just so satisfying for you. It changes the way you see yourself. It makes you feel proud of yourself.
And the way
Makes
other people see you too. I mean, my team and I, we have the Launch Lab Academy, and it's a big part of what we teach. Except, so the hook, the story is so important because it's branding yourself. It's how people get to know you, and it's so important. And there you are. You have taught someone like Magda, who's also in our program. You've taught her how to tell her story. How cool is that? I mean, because people are afraid to tell this story. Where do I start?
Yeah.
Well, usually you start from a small event. That's
Yes,
you know
chunking. That is called chunking, and
chunking
that's how we learn in everything, in music, in everything. We learn in little chunks.
chunks. Right.
We
And
cannot vomit out the whole life story because it's like, why are you telling me all this? The
did
audience is like, why
did
do
you,
I need to hear all this? So
did
we,
you use did you use the word vomit out?
yeah, yeah, I did. Sorry,
But
it's
that
not
is so
allowed.
funny. But that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Exactly.
But
So,
so I don't know. Lucy, can we ask the audience to ask questions to see?
oh, absolutely. But I want to ask you, in your opinion, yeah, and yes, please, everybody, please feel free to ask questions. But in your opinion, what's the key? Maybe the key to crafting a compelling story that really kind of deeply connects you with an audience, both emotional. It's an emotional connection and intellectual. What is there a key that you can talk about?
Yes,
What is?
absolutely.
So I
So
asked the first question, everybody.
you asked the right person. Okay, so Magda is laughing. So I want you to be aware of two things. There's two ways.
Okay.
One would be like you're gonna watch a film and there's a synopsis of the film.
Right.
So it gives you a whole synopsis that is it goes like a bird's eye view, right? That's one format of
Mhm.
telling your story. Well, I
Right.
used to struggle to speak until I discovered storytelling, and now I'm able to speak, connect with people, and I became a storytelling coach.
Right.
That is an overview, and
Right.
it's very clear, short, succinct, but that is not really grabbing your imagination,
No.
right? You're still listening to it intellectually, like, that's interesting, makes sense, yeah, good for you, well done, right? And we don't want that effect in people. We don't want them saying good for you. We want this effect, like, what?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
really? Oh, no, 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 don't tell me. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want that effect.
Yeah, like I am.
Yeah, right. So the way we can do that is by grabbing, as Lucy said before, just one snippet, which is one scene. What the heck is a scene?
Right.
A scene is a moment in time and space where something major happened.
Right.
Okay, in time and space, a specific place. Okay, in the car. Okay, I'm there. I can follow you. So you need to think these are the fundamentals of storytelling. I need to follow you with my imagination, with my
Right.
vision. Okay, I'm in a car. Okay, I could. Have you ever seen a car, Lucy?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm with you. I'm in the car. I'm in the car already.
You're in a car. You can picture the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is a blue car, and I'm grabbing the wheel. Yeah. You've seen a wheel, and probably you touched a wheel before, so you can grab it. You can picture that. We are in the car. Okay. As soon as you present this information, which is called the setting, the action needs to take place in there.
Okay.
Don't take me anywhere else. You brought the car to me, the steering wheel, and I need to know what's happening now, what you are doing, not what you're thinking. I don't care. What are you doing? What action are you doing? This is what moves the plot along.
Right.
So if you bring the car, don't take me then to your bedroom. Don't take me to the sea. That's another visual that I need to grasp.
Exactly.
So these are keys. Okay. So this is number one, and you can all write it down. Setting. This is how the scene starts. Setting. Okay. Car. I'm in the car. I'm driving home, and I'm grabbing the wheel. You don't need to say, and I'm all tense and stressed, because we can see it in the body. So use your body language. We want to simplify things, and we can do it with body language, which is 80% of information, of emotional connection.
Right.
I'm driving home. And then the next step for the framework is action. Something that is happening. Oh, there's a car coming in front of me, right? You see? You see what happened, Lucy?
Yeah, you made me jump. Yes, I was so intent.
You see? And I'm not telling you much. It's so simple. It's so vivid.
I can't wait.
Yeah, action. And then, so I turn the wheel. Woo, and right. Second action. And then we are inventing this. I'm just inventing this scene, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of a mentor of mine who tells a story about a scene in the car, and she had this horrible accident that came to my mind immediately.
I know, it's Maya's story.
Yeah, it's Maya's story. Yeah,
right. So she steers, and then the car just flips and turns, and boom, and then she's telling it in first person. So I regain consciousness, get out of the car, and I look at the car, and it's totaled. And the guy in front of me, there's a guy in front of me talking to me. I think it's a nurse, it's a doctor. It says, "How come you're alive? Yeah. The car is completely totaled." That's when I realized, I have a second chance.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Right.
We don't need to tell the before story. No. We don't need to tell the story after, because you and I and all of us as humanity, boom, yeah, Magda, just like that, we have background knowledge, background experience, background information. We can fill in all the gaps. We don't need to know why you were there in the car and what was your life before. We can imagine that. And that is the power of storytelling, that it gets to be appropriated by the listener, and they feel that they come into your story and they feel, that's my story. I've been completely lost, not knowing where I'm going in the car. And then, right, that is what you want. And that is the absolute engagement.
Right.
Because they are busy in their minds, thinking, feeling their own story and following your story. And they're like, no, and what? And then, they grab their heart. That is the power of storytelling. It's not intellectual. It's in the whole of the body of the listener.
Do you think that your approach to teaching storytelling differs a lot from, the traditional methods? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what's the core message you kind of aim to convey to your students? I mean, I just want to hear it again. What's that core message?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm completely disruptive,
Yeah,
and that's the beauty. We are all unique and different, and we
yeah,
all have a gift to share in the world. And maybe many of us, emotional, says
yeah.
Therese. Yeah, absolutely, embodied.
Embody.
The core thing is that the body speaks. The body speaks. Um, from my own personal experience, it was embodiment that enabled me then to have a voice. It was when I discovered drama and I was doing a whole scene without speaking,
Oh,
just with the body, just with the eyes, without words, that I discovered, oh my gosh, no one told me that if I don't have the words, if I can't speak, there's something that speaks louder than words. It's the body. So
right.
embody. And so I feel that that absolutely differentiates me from many other coaches that teach storytelling for marketing, because I not only teach storytelling for marketing and for your brand, which I have a whole lifetime of entrepreneurship with my parents being entrepreneurs. I'm outstanding at helping you get a clear and concise story for your
Right.
brand. But my key is humanity. My
Man.
key is humanity, your whole of humanity. Nothing can replace your voice, the tone of your voice, your facial expression, your body language, your emotional intelligence. Of course, and Lucy, you help people master AI and master technology for our advantage, but really being aware that no one will replace us
Right.
humans. And what we are connecting with when we tell the story
Yeah.
is humanity. And so, something that really differentiates me from other people is that I have all that background in drama, in the arts,
Yeah.
in the humanity, and I've been where people are at. So
Right. Yeah,
probably
yes,
that's
exactly. You've been where people are at, and that's so important. Oh my
yeah.
God. Vicky says, I've been told that I am so dramatic, and with Natalia's training, I'm learning to get to be who I am. So she said,
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
So, may I ask, do we have any questions from any of you? Magda, do we have a comment from you? Vicky, I mean, thank you for participating. We're so happy to have you here. So, please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I'll keep asking the questions. And I do have, what motivated you to establish the Unstoppable Storytellers? I mean, the ultimate goal you aspire is to, to achieve through this platform. What is it that you're hoping? What's the ultimate goal that
Give a
you
voice to the good people of the world.
give the voice to good people to the world? Okay. So
Yeah.
Vicky says, so happy to be here.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Well, that's a biggie. Now you've trained experts, right? Can you, from various fields, from what I understand, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Various fields. Uh Doctors, health coaches,
Hmm.
um and recently someone very interesting, he's a developer. I love training visionaries because I have a rich background, a rich family, so
Right.
I can resonate with different people. I've been in health, in healing, in
Right.
uh, I've done everything you can imagine. And so this developer, extraordinary developer that developed cities in Dubai and in different areas of the world, he wants to reconstruct Ukraine. He wants to reconstruct
Wow.
Florida every time a tornado comes. So he's like reconstructing the world. And so I love training visionaries, people that completely break the rules, because I understand their minds, creative minds. I understand them, and I understand people that think creatively and are very passionate, but find it very difficult to put it into clear words.
Right.
So I love training them, training humble people, people that care about humanity, and they want to give a gift to others. So
Right.
usually I don't train someone that just is just after money, even though we know that with storytelling
Right.
is the one thing that's going to bring you money into your business, because it
Right.
connects with people, and it helps you be an elite coach, an elite teacher, and an elite human being,
Right.
because you connect with others, and it helps you bring clients in. But I I put a lot of passion when I'm coaching. So I always interview the person, and I make sure that we resonate with our values, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you all of my love and my attention to bring out the best from you.
Right.
Just like I did with that child there that was standing in front of the classroom, and now he's like an absolute hero, because that was many years ago. I love spotting talents. There's
Right.
people that come to me and they think I've got no story, and like, I don't have a story like yours, and
Well,
it's like, you've got no idea, my love, you do.
Natalia, we have some experts here. We have some wonderful people here who are great storytellers, who have great stories to tell. Magda is one of them, and she says how to make a message shorter for podcasts. I mean, I guess that would be that's a skill for
Yeah,
sure.
that is a skill. So for podcast interviews, usually, when you're gonna get into a podcast, which it's what I'm doing right now with Lucy, there's a couple of things that you will need. On the one side, these are logistics things. You need your profile photo, you need a bio, and you need one or two stories that will lead all of the conversation, all of the interview. Yeah, have at
Mhm.
least one or two stories in your pocket that can lead the conversation. That will make you feel very comfortable in the rest of the interview. Um, so, um, so I suspect that what you're asking, Magda, is okay. So on the one side, you've got your origin story, but you want to find just one little scene that you're going to tell, so that we're leaving just breadcrumbs. We're not going to tell the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
story, the whole talk. It's not a keynote in
Hmm.
an interview. There's a dance in the communication. Uh, yeah, we are rule breakers, Magda. That explains all amazing people I met in your course here in Captivate. We're all the rule breakers. So we need to make it very short. So that's why we need our synopsis, our bio, our before and
Hmm.
after statement,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
is usually what the podcaster um, uh, will introduce you with that before and after statement, like Lucy did for me. And
Hmm.
then she's going to ask me, where did it all begin?
Right.
How did you get started? So make sure you've got that story in your pocket, and tell just that scene that got it all started. And then if there's a follow-up question when it comes to that, then you've got a following scene to tell. But make sure that each of these scenes has a punchline and a message at the end, so that you feel satisfied that you've ended. The interviewer feels like, oh wow, you want that reaction, and
Right.
you right, so that will make the podcast interview be very energetic. And oh, thank you, Barb. Thank you. I love your style. Thank you so much. Does that answer your question, Magda?
Magda, does that answer your question? Yes. Mercy. Yes,
Yes.
Magda. Well, that was
It was
Vicky.
Vicky.
But I,
Okay.
I do have another question here from Therese, because Therese, she has lots of lovely stories, but she is saying, I'm writing a short story about my mom. Should I approach it in her voice or in mine? Great question.
Wow. Yeah, great question. I love that.
Hmm.
Um okay, so I think that you can have both voices, because the beauty in storytelling is that you're gonna tell it from your perspective, but then you can bring in dialogues. So that is uh, one of the keys and principles in storytelling. There always have to be dialogues. So we are using direct speech instead of reported speech. What is this? Direct speech is, Mom,
Yeah.
why are you taking the rubbish right now? And reported speech is, so I asked Mom why she was taking the rubbish right now. Well, we don't want that. We don't use reported speech in oral storytelling. It's complicated. So you're going to use direct speech. So you're going to have her voice in the, oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, how she talks to you. So you're going to bring dialogues. There's going to be your voice and her voice. and the rest is going to be just concrete information. Remember, we start with the setting, describe the place. We are in the kitchen. It's early morning. Mom comes through the door. That's the first action. Oh, Therese, I told you to take the rubbish out at 8 in the morning. Look, it's 8:30 and you didn't. Oh, Mom, why always me? Why can't, Bobby do it? Okay, so that comes the dialogue. And then you continue explaining the action. That is the story. Anything else that we add on, explanations, thoughts, reasons why you think this happened at that time, that's not part of the story. The story is just the facts. It's
Right.
like a detective's report.
Right.
Just the facts. That is the story. That is what I want to. I want you to you get into your mind. Only that is the story.
Right.
Nothing. Um, what is this abstract?
Right.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Alfred, welcome. Thank you. Do you have a question for us or for my guest, Elizabeth? Feel free, please, to ask. And Mag, I just want to say that Magda said, yes, you did answer her question. So that's really good. And I'm just making sure that I get everybody. Thank you. That really helps. Therese
Oh,
says,
I'm glad, Therese.
wonderful.
I love you.
Oh my God, this is so cool. I'm so happy to have you here. And we could go on forever. And,
Let's make it short and simple.
but now, so you've you've already told us about this visionary that you're loving, you know, teaching him because he just wants to change the world, and it must be so captivating to try to get him to do the right thing. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah. Oh, he is. He's now pitching to really high-profile people uh, in Hollywood. So yeah, he's doing amazing. Yeah. So I love working with people and getting them results immediately. Hugs, Therese. So um uh, Lucy, I'm doing a couple of free masterclasses, which
okay,
you were in one recently, and
right.
this is happening next week. So if anyone wants to learn a bit more, so that we make this short and sweet, and it's a free masterclass, you're absolutely invited to come in. And yeah, of course, you can go into natalianutting.com, or you can, what can you do? Send me a private message and I can invite you into my free group, which is the Storytelling Campfire, which I have tons of free trainings there on storytelling. Everything that you need to know about storytelling, I'm here for you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, I know that you have Unstoppable Storytellers and you just invited people to join you. Do you not have a 1 month accelerated story coaching program also that's called Captivate or something like that? Is
Yeah,
that
Captivate is 3 months, is my
oh, three
elite
months?
program. Yeah, Captivate. In Captivate, we work with your origin story, which is the story where it's your signature story where everything began. It's the story that you're going to tell in a podcast interview,
Mhm.
and also you're going to bring in a keynote. It's the story that defines you. It's your brand. We work on your stories to teach, your signature stories to teach, all of your material, and we work on your keynote speech, which is the style that I use is the TEDx style
Okay.
of developing your talk. We work with the emotional journey of the whole of your talk and where to position your stories to make your message land. And this is a type of talk that is not a sales talk, is a talk to leave a message and move people. We do this in 3 months. It is very powerful. We are on the last month of this iteration. So the next Captivate iteration is going to start in 1 month, right at the end of September. And it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey that gets you completely unlocked, frees your voice. And I'm in health and wellness, and I was
She wants to know if you can help
health.
with that. Perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
she needs to join your group. And so I don't know who you are. If you could just click on StreamYard and give them permission to use your name, then please go to Natalia Nutting, I screwed it
NG.
up,
NATA.
NUTTING.com. It's
Oh,
like
very clear. Shall I say NATALIANUTTING.com, natalianutting.com. And there you have an section where you can also book a call with me if you need personal support. There's a 30-minute sometimes I got slots open. So when you see a slot open, you go take it, because not often do I open my calendar there. If not, just shoot me a message. And
Natalia is Jennifer Denny, just so that you know, okay?
Jennifer Denny, yeah,
Okay.
lovely.
And so there's a social media feedback there. Yes, I love Captivate. So Vicky's definitely one of your students,
Oh,
and
she's in.
yeah,
She's part of Captivate. Yeah,
wonderful.
Vicky.
So, is there something that I didn't ask you that you would love to tell our audience? Because I know how busy you are, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Is there something that I didn't cover that you're burning to tell us? Oh, I want to know about why you only eat once a day. What's that all about?
Great question. I love that. But I'm fascinated about nutrition. I grew up in a family where uh, the only medicine was food
Hmm.
and and herbs. So I did not take any conventional medicine in my whole life. So
Okay.
I'm pretty aware of nutrition. So I've always been experimenting. And 3 years ago, someone told me, "Oh, you don't need carbs to run your body." And it's like, but that doesn't make sense. And I was introduced to the ketogenic diet. And I'm not preaching it, because it's like things very personal. So but I've been doing a ketogenic diet for almost 3 years, and it's worked wonders with me. And coupled with intermittent fasting for 14 hours and sometimes 20 hours, it just really has improved my cognitive abilities, my mood swings. I'm more stable because I'm someone that is so emotional. I used to sometimes it's like, come on, I don't want to have so many emotions.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
go up and down, and with sugar, you get the sugar rush and going down. And I couldn't deal with that, especially on the path of entrepreneurship. You need to be a little bit more stable, and you need a lot of brain power. So the fasting and keto diet really helped me. But
I
when it,
also want to I put a plug in here for Magda, who
yeah,
is
Magda, I
our
was going to say
nutritional.
that.
I mean, she's the guru of
She's the
nutrition
guru.
too. So if you need any help with nutrition, she's also the lady to go to, because she has helped me tremendously, and she has wonderful master classes, and I support her all the way. She really knows what she's talking about.
Yeah,
Really.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You read my mind. I was going to say,
Thank
go
you.
see Magda Sommer, because she is the girl.
So Jennifer, it says I love mental health and wellness. That helps me focus, and my daughter Jazzy focus and mood. So that's good too. Thank you, Jennifer. So now you know. Um,
That
okay,
is
here. Oh,
That
sorry.
is oh yeah, please contact Magda through Facebook, Magda Sommer. Follow her. But why is this so important for us as storytellers, as speakers? What do
Mhm,
we put into our body is what's going to come out then,
exactly.
right? So the moment I took my body, as Magda says, as without your body, you are nobody, Magda says.
I
The
love
moment
that. No body. Without
nobody.
your body, you are nobody. I love the way she speaks.
Yeah, exactly. Without your body, you are nobody. And when the moment you take yourself as your body as a treasure, as a temple, and you put the best, you eat the best, organic, precious, beautiful food, then what's going to come out of you is going to be beautiful, including your words, including your stories. It's all going to be beautiful. So food and how we treat ourselves, how we love ourselves, is essential, I believe. And I'm very emotional, and the path of entrepreneurship is flipping hard, and we do go through roller coaster of emotions. So take care of your body, take care of your soul, love yourself, love your stories. And when the story is brewing and you're not ready yet how to tell it, or if it's like very dramatic, just give a hug to yourself, let it mature, love yourself. Don't ever punish yourself for a story that you feel that doesn't seem right. Is in the maturing process, and there'll be a moment where it's like, oh, now it's ready, now it's I am bursting out, I want to tell it. And then you will tell it. And when you do it that way, when you love yourself and you love the story that you're telling, then you're setting up a new standard, and you are creating confidence
Right.
for yourself. You're creating confidence for yourself. And confidence is a powerful energy that is very, very magnetic. And confidence, I believe, that does not come only through repetition and skills. It comes from your understanding of where this is coming from. It comes from faith. That's what I believe. Confidence comes from the divine, and it comes from understanding that what you're giving out is this beautiful divine energy that you it's going to touch people's hearts. So when you do it that way, when you tell your story as a gift, as a divine gift, then you get confidence because you're
Right.
channeling something beautiful.
Right.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, just want to say to Jennifer, Magda Summer is the person you want to contact for nutrition, and obviously you want to contact Natalia, all right, for storytelling, because she is our guest today. So she can help you and your daughter, all right, tell the story that you need to tell, because we all need to tell our stories. We all have stories that matter.
Yeah.
So there you go. If there are any other questions, please ask them, because Natalia is a busy lady, and we've gone way over the time. So Natalia, I just really we have Vicky here saying, let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you a story.
And if Tati could teach me, she can teach to anybody. Magda's so funny, always, always. If you
Oh,
get, anyway, so
that's
I do love Amare, and okay, so she belongs to these products, I guess, for body and mind. So that's good. That's a good start. And so back to you, Natalia. Thank you so very much, sweetie, for being on today. I just love your energy. I love what you do. I love inspiring stories, and I love the fact that you teach inspiring stories. So thank you for being here. And everybody knows how to contact you by now. And we will be talking again for sure. And to the audience, thank you again for being here. And just want to let you know that Thursdays at 2 p.m., there's always Lucy with another great interview. Bye for now.